Welcome to designing a good experiment. So recall that when we do an experiment, the goal is to prove a cause and effect relationship. So we want to prove a cause and effect relationship. So typically this is essentially showing that some treatment uh, improves the results, or so we want to show treatment improves the results. So this means when we go to design an experiment, we need to design the experiment in such a way that we can show that it is the treatment that causes the improvement and not something else. So we need to show the treatment is causing the improvement. Let me give myself a little more space. As opposed to something else in the background. So one major thing we need to do when we run an experiment is we need to have something to compare the results to. So we can see what the treatment does, but we need to also be able to compare that to what happens without the treatment. So in order to compare the results of the treatment to what happens without the treatment, we need two groups in our sample. So we need to split our group or our sample into groups. So again, what we'll do for this is, so we'll take our sample and then we'll split it into two groups. So about half of the individuals will go into what is called the control group. And the control group does not receive the treatment. And then the other group is called the treatment group. Which does receive the treatment. If we're trying to compare multiple treatments, then we might need multiple groups or more groups than two. So we could have the control group, treatment group 1 that receives the first treatment, treatment group 2 that receives another treatment. The goal here when we're designing an experiment is we want to design the experiment in such a way that the treatment or lack of treatment is the only thing that should be influencing the results. So we want to design the experiment in such a way that the results are due to the treatment versus lack of treatment. As opposed to due to some confounding variables. We'll have a video where we go much more in depth on avoiding confounding variables. The other thing that we need here is we'll want our treatment groups to be as similar as possible. Where we will want our various groups to be similar. Again, so that it's not some other variable in the background causing the results. All right, so that's just the basics for designing an experiment.